So the definition is a project selected for funding will create indelible, measurable impacts in the immediate and broader community. The project will be supported and planned by a broad range of users, ranging from businesses to governmental entities to neighborhoods and individuals. Selected projects will have a clear, well-laid plan for success and sustainability. So I think not to say that if you represent an organization, not to say that you haven't presented projects or programs that aren't measurable and have an impact. But once again, we are looking for that major, broader impact, a broader impact to this community. And let me just see if I can put it in other terms as well. We're looking for bricks and mortar type projects. Okay? We're looking for projects that do involve large collaborative groups and neighborhoods and individuals. We're looking for projects that have an impact on the physical landscape of our community. Okay, by physical, it can be the look. It can mean a physical impact on the broader, individualistic makeup of our community. So we're definitely looking for that broader, larger impact across the entire county. And definitely that it shows it has a means of sustainability. Okay, so if you're awarded the money that we would grant or the other monies that you could possibly raise, we would be looking to you to use some of that money towards sustainability. Okay, so immediate objectives: create a funding vehicle that will allow the Community Foundation to be more proactive in addressing community improvement needs. So like I said, before we just kind of sat back and waited for those groups to come to us to provide us the opportunity to provide leadership and funding. Well, this is our way of showing all of you in the community at large that we want to be more proactive. And we're saying, here's a sum of money, what do you have? What do you got for us to look at? And then encourage the community to create and implement community improvement initiatives on their own. Okay? We have a lot of individuals in this room right now that I know you've utilized the Community Foundation services as volunteers, not in a paid capacity, but as volunteers to make and to revitalize and enhance some major iconic establishments and such in this community. Those are the types of examples that we're looking for. I mean, those were individual volunteer approaches. You saw something that was dying, you saw liveliness and hope for it again, you grabbed a hold of it as a volunteer, as an individual or organization, and you said, we're going to make it better, or we're going to enhance it. That's what we're looking for.
Timeline, November 1, which is today, and I can't believe it, application numbers are available. The grant application numbers, we process them within our computer system. It helps keep track of what's coming in and what's going out, and it also will help us with duplication. Because that way, kind of how we help with leading the community or help bringing people together, if someone calls with an idea and there's another one similar, well, you should really talk and maybe even come up with a bigger project that could involve more. Applications will be available January 1st, but actually January 2nd. We will not be here January 1st. What we're going to do is, with those application numbers, when you call and request one, create a list, collect those email addresses, send out the actual application in Word format that you can type directly in on January 2nd, and then those need to be turned in by February 1st. I'm accepting all applications through email. If you feel more secure in sending them through mail, that is fine with me also at this point. After that, March through May, the applications are going to go through more of a narrowing down process. It's first going to go in front of our SCF staff, and then once those have been narrowed down slightly, then they'll go in front of our board of directors, where they will review it and make the final decision. That decision will be announced in June when we have our annual celebration, and the recipient will find out at that time. The criteria for this application is It needs to occur in Saginaw County, which I sent an email out today that said, yes, that also includes Merrill and Chesaning. All of those that's just fine, I'm even in talks with someone from Freeland. The people that can apply are organizations, the traditional application guidelines of nonprofit, school, churches, government, but also the additional criteria that we've added to try and make it more available and get some more of those great ideas that are out there where someone doesn't have their established nonprofit yet. Individuals, community groups, neighborhoods, businesses, and youth groups are also eligible if SCF or another nonprofit is used as the fiscal agent. We obviously need to have a talk in advance, or you need to have approval from someone else to use as a fiscal agent. But we're willing to work with you on that because we want a really great project and want to help you out in any way that we can. And the projects, like Renee had said, we're looking for bricks and mortar, or as I explained to the youth group, something that you can drive past and point at. Like, that's what we did. And new project or improving upon an existing project. Very similar to the grants that we give out here just in the general Saginaw Community Foundation, but it's going to be more of a project instead of programming. Application. Okay, the application has been handed out in draft format to everyone. It's very similar again to what traditionally is filled out. Along with that cover sheet, general information, followed by the budget, a couple questions to follow up because we're concerned or want to address that element of sustainability, bricks and mortar, and yet what's going to happen 10 years from now is always a concern. Providing also the program narrative, which online on Monday will have some more guidelines as far as what are the things that need to go into that program narrative, and also how it can be laid out, put together, so then that way it'll be easier for everyone to fill out. It'll be the same thing as what's normally filled out, just a little bit more backbone to it. And supporting documents, which will vary per organization, whether it's a map of the area that you're talking about or additional photos. We will accept it at that time. Award. The award that we're giving out is for $25,000. That is a grant. We also have the stipulation that goes along with that is if you are able to raise additional $25,000, then Saginaw Community Foundation will throw in and fund an additional $5,000. So you could, in essence, have $55,000 to help fund the project.
You know, once again, we mentioned Deindorfer Wood, so, you know, it could be a major project enhancement or revitalization, or a neighborhood revitalization. It could be facades. It could be bricks and mortar, whether it's, you know, we had a grant application last year? Or a year?
Oh, yes, that was just last year.
Just last year, where there was an organization that wanted to make major improvements to some housing units that were specific to that organization. That could fall under, because it's a major improvement to the landscape in that direct neighborhood. So those are some project ideas.